Hello, hello, ladies and germs. We're looking at a little excerpt from the Mauritanian. We've seen it a few different times on the channel. If you want to see the entire breakdown or any of the breakdowns that we've ever looked at in the past, these are small little snippets. There's much longer ones over on Patreon. You get a brand new one each and every week. Hopefully, these make you a better cinematographer. I don't know what else works, right? I don't know. I can't do, I could do an explanation on setting up a C-stand or on putting the 4x floppy up or where to put the key light. But there are other people that do that. Right? This is common sense. And it's also, those are the skills that you build up early on in your career. And you're like, this is necessary. I must know how to light this interview. I must know how to set up the aperture with the light dome thing on it. And I've got to get this little back edge just perfect. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's all dog shit. Completely waste of time. My entire career, I haven't used any of that stuff of putting up stands or plugging in cables or whatever the fuck it is. I haven't done any of that stuff. Never, never, never. You know what has paid off? Knowing where to put the things and then telling the individuals that you tell, 3 or 4 people on set that you communicate, hey team, this is what we're going for. Can everyone put their best effort into getting this? And then when you're looking at the monitor, sitting in the chair, sipping the cappuccino going, it doesn't really look like I asked for. That should be, red flag should be going off. Who do I talk to next? And if you don't know who to talk to fix your problem, guess what? You're the problem. And guess who doesn't get hired multiple times? The problem. So do yourselves a favor and figure out what is the future going to look like if we go with plan A, B, or C. If I know what the future is going to look like, well, then I can reverse engineer it from there. Now I can tell the people in the present, hey, this is the problem that's going to come up. Why don't we do this? Why don't we place the light here? Why don't we add a little bit more diffusion here? Why don't we think about the blocking before we start? Right? When are we going to, in this scenario with the Mauritanian, we're going to have a couple people inside of a room. We're going to go from a walk and talk to a sit down. How are we going to do this to get the best angles on our lighting and make it easier for everyone else, right? Your job shouldn't be making it more complicated for everyone else. It should be, how do I make it easier or more seamless, more efficient for everyone else? I got an idea. How about, okay, the coverage doesn't really work for the best angles on the walk and talk, but when they sit down, can we find a good angle then? Can we do something? What if we flop the side of the line? Everyone around you gasps. What? We're flopping? You can't break the 180-degree rule. Everybody knows that. And you go, listen up, little people. I am about to educate you in the ways of the world, the cinematography tricks that you too shall be privy to after today on set with the maestro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flop, but I'm going to do it on the move. Everyone, flop on the move? What's that mean? You don't know? You've never heard flop on the move? Get out. Get out. You're no longer on this set. Let's go. Okay, we come down the hall and into the room, and this is an interesting take on a three-hander. So we come sit in the Steadicam shot. Old mate over here, look at how down the background is. And I only say look at how down the background is because we know this is on the Venice. We know they're shooting on S7s. This thing could look like daytime out there. Right? You could get so much level from outside. But because we are doing this whole scenario where we go that whole walk and talk and we're not cutting in there. Now, maybe they could do, in today's technology, you could do this at a real location and then do a 1917 morph cut there. Right? And now he walks into a set door and you could use a translite out there. But I don't think they're doing that here. Okay, now really important is watch where the action takes place. So he's in darkness. He doesn't circle around this way to shake his hand over by the window. They come here. And they come here because this is our key light for the entire thing, is from up above. Also, look at those different lampshades. Ooh, production designer, not happy. Okay, so this is what you get. We've seen this before. Put the thing past the talent if you're going to go overhead, and that's what we're selling here. We don't want this light that's on them. This does look a little bit lit, slightly strange, right? But it's forgivable because it looks beautiful. There's so much contrast in here. There's so much darkness, and there's so much depth in the image. We got 2 different colored practicals on, again with different lampshades. They got 1, 2, 3. They got 5 lamps on inside this room, not counting this thing up here. But then, from here, what's more important is the blocking. How are we going to do this three-hander with 1 overhead light, right? So if we, just don't pay attention to this for a second. And if we map, actually we'll watch it through, then we'll map it out. Okay, so shakes hands, comes across, rando in the corner that we never cut to again. There he is. Nobody cares about him, right? Let's see that light change on him. What happens there? How does that work? Oh, come on, it's too far back. Now we got to watch the whole thing. I need my jog wheel here. Would have been way faster than going back and watching this 10,000 times. Okay, we're looking at that dude in the corner. I want to see the light on him. Boom. Okay, he's getting full Monty down the side of his head, right? Like that is a full giant back edge. And let's see where it happens next. And it's gone. And it's gone. Okay, so he walks under the top light. He walks into a different light. Did you see that transition? Can we go back this way? Oh, you're joking. Micro movements here, micro movements. Watch him walk from the top light that we were just in, which is that light. Watch him walk into his new key and into the key. Right? The sit. Now we've chosen this side of the line. Watch what they do here. This makes all the difference for the entire scene. Get ready, gone. Right there. Did everyone see that? Did everybody see what happened? Okay, so we have these three people are going to talk. Let's see if we cut back to them. Well, we don't cut wider. So we're on this side. Look at him, and old mate over here. We know the light is coming from this way. It was supposedly this one big toppy source. We are not on the right side here, folks. This is the wrong side. So what are we going to do? The same trick that we did before. As long as we don't show the opposite side before we swap sides of the line, generally it's okay. It's really hard to spot. But we definitely want to be on the other side of the line because this is where our key is coming from. And if we turn around and we do the reverse of this shot, looking back at our star here, it's not going to be pretty, right? Like, first of all, there's barely any light on him. And we're about to see that all change right now. Right here on this look, and we're going to cut to the other side. Boom, we cut to his side. Now, what we have done here, besides getting all four characters in this thing, is we really never have to go. We're eliminating a huge angle or a huge amount of coverage by being able to get this guy and this guy in the frame, especially on this shot and then on the reverse when we're over this shoulder looking back this way. Having these two people in the frame, significantly less coverage because we don't have to go in and get close-ups of everybody or reactions both ways. So again, light from over here, like it doesn't work if he sits over there. And it also doesn't work if this guy sits across from him. It changes the coverage completely, right? Significantly complicates it. So now on the ear, prac in the background, that's another practical. What are we at, 7 now? Looking good though. Long, soft. Okay, see what I mean by having this guy in the frame? Like we don't need a long close-up of him. We want to get him in context with this. Also look at this little tiny little accent light back there. Ooh, man, that is good looking. Okay, we cut to the same focal length matching. This is a little bit hotter now, right? We juiced up whatever level that was in the overhead grid. We have juiced it up and we brought this light way down. Like now it's much more side on. And now we're getting into the beauty lighting, even though it's still like a longy lens. Okay, still on the edge of the shoulder, which could be done at the same time as this one, right? Probably not because you're so close to the head, but definitely you're not changing much in between those two. Now we're on him. It's actually the same shot, just rack focused, isn't it? Now, again, he's changed his angle. All we do is move around the key, right? Ever so slightly move around the key light. That's it. We got shoulder plus prac. Those practicals will jump all over the place in the background. Again, and it's also like because he doesn't have all the information in this scene, like he's constantly being fed information, we don't want to show him perfectly because we're about to reveal all of that. So we're setting up with these layers, long lens, we're detached. He's detached from the subject. He's detached from the information in the scene. Then we cut to this wider shot, way wider, right? Go, 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 look over the glasses and spill the beans. Okay, now we got full body here, which is cool, right? Just something different to get further away from him. Back to the close-up. And Where's my cut wider? Did I just miss it? Boom, holy focal length change, right? Okay, the news is in. All right, this is like a normal lens. This is like a 75. This is like a 35, really close to this guy's face. And look at how shallow it is. All right, this is the full frame. This is what you get from the full frame look or super shallow depth of field. This is like Master Prime 1.3 level depth of field. His face looks like it's CGI, like it's attached to another person's body because it's so shallow. And again, look at the background framing perfectly and like, hello, Mr. Cheekbones here. That is a good looking facial structure there for our light. It's a little bit crunchy, but it's nice. And you can feel there's a little bit of something up here too. Like the temptation would be to overcook it and like, okay, let's just separate them even more out the background because there's not really any highlights back there. But really I wanted to show you just for the focal length change. So as the scene is playing out, again, we have normal focal lengths for these two because nothing is new for them. They're just passing on the information. Yeah, cut to this. Again, normal looking for him, normal looking. He's gonna read the information here. He's gonna be a little bit shocked. Now we're even closer. See how round the face is too? Not near as flat as you get on the longer focal lengths. We're inside his head, we're inside his world here. There's confusion, but it still looks real nice. Again, back here, look up, ta-da. See a little eye light in there? And down. Whoo, we got another one down in the books. You saw the flop on the move. Basically, all this is saying, this entire breakdown, is get to a spot where the thing looks better. Right? If you're in a spot where it looks bad and you're thinking, well, I need a solution for how to make this thing look better. But can I do it? Is it going to read? Will I be able to sell people on the crew and everybody in the story? Like, is it going to match up? Like, nobody cares, right? Just make it look better. Just make it look nicer. And don't tell anyone. And don't even mention, because sometimes you get the script supervisor coming up to you like, hey, Bob, shouldn't Angela be looking left to right in this scene? And that's when you take script supervisor, you say, listen, come over here. Come over here for a second. See, nobody cares. No one. Do you understand? Do you know who got you this job? It wasn't me. Somebody else hired you. And you've got a job to do. But I don't care right now, right? And I'm not threatening you. I would never do that. But I don't know where I'm going with this. Sorry. Please don't press charges. I apologize. And no, Bob's not going to look that way. Because watch. And you go over to the DIT and, hey, can you flip that monitor or flip the image from today's earlier stuff that we shot in the morning? Because, you know, what's his face is really bothering me. The script supervisor, just flip it. And the DIT goes, what? You want to flip it? Like, that's lying. You go, you're fired. No, I'm just joking. You don't fire anybody. You don't even have the power to fire anybody. You're the DP. What are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to? Are you going to go to the producer and cry? Doubt it. I wonder, I was thinking if I've ever seen anybody, I mean, I've definitely seen people cry on set. I've seen people fired on set as well, which is a bit of a bummer. If you have been fired on set in the middle of the day, let me see, what did I see that for? I saw for broken equipment. I saw it one time somebody asked the producer on a commercial if they could get them a seat. That didn't go over very well. There's lots of things. You can get fired for lots, actually. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. Many thanks. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.